Hey, I'm back. It's your friend. Oh, let me get this adjusted. All right. Let's see where I want to be at. I know I should have had that already. I want to get this right. I'm sorry about that. All right. This is for people united in a place where we fight for your rights. Now, there's a lot of things that's going on in this world, and this is my first time bringing myself out on here on this kind of stage and really tackling the idea about race and not just having it written down or whatever. This is really like really straight from off my mind about being a black man, the mind of a black man. Now, these days and age, there's a lot of things that's going on in this world that you gotta understand that as a black man. It's painful. The whole loss of your whole identity. But at the same time, people going out their way because they dislike you so much try to make your day bad. They disrespecting you. But to me, I look at them as those are just a form of devils that's going to come at you like that. And you got to learn to be able to know what that is and when that is, and don't let it make you react in the wrong way. Now, there's a certain individual, certain type of. Hold on for a second. Let me turn off a couple of things here. Get on my nerves. First of all, this damn fan is raggedy as a motherfucker, man. It's making a whole bunch of raggedy ass noise. And it's light. It's not. Well, anyways. Alright. This is my first show. One of the first shows that we're going to be talking about something that means a lot to me. I mean, seriously. It's race. Look at my face. Look at my face. My race might not get me invited. My race won't get you excited. So many have done everything they can to let us know we're not invited. But we stood through all the challenges. Strong. Fought back. Took on many of you. And at the same time, gained friends. A lot of you guys speak bad about us because of jealousy. And that's sad. Now, I want to get to what's going on out here today at this moment and this time. Motherfuckers is out there protesting, right? Protesting on this blackness because the whole situation about black men, black people getting killed has me to a point where I want to explode, but I'm just trying to keep on fucking. I'm cool about it. So when I'm speaking to you, I'm losing my words kind of because I'm kind of like really don't know how I should come at this angle like this, but I'm just going to come at it like, y'all better stop fucking with us before it ends up being real bad. Y'all ain't the only one who got guns. Now, I want to take you guys to gotta get this into some shit, man. That's got me in this kind of zone. This is what's got me in this zone where I'm just sitting around. And there's this message that Trump had. Trump had this certain message. You know. So we gotta check it out right here. Put up my little thing right here. Let's see if we can get you there. See, can you see that shit? man, that shit's glowing too good, dog. Right here. All right. Let's see something. I want to see something. I want to show you this thing that what Trump got going on. So hold on, just be patient. Now, I was just doing this really to test this little thing out real quick, whatever, but it really don't matter. Because if you go stick with me, you want to be dealing with a real motherfucker anyways. You don't like all those fake people and how they act fake. Motherfuckers is fake. So you ain't gonna go nowhere. All right. So we're gonna watch right here. We're gonna listen to what Trump was talking about. We're gonna talk about what Trump was talking about as far as he said something about how he wants to dominate. Please play Trump dominate. I want you to listen
President
to
Trump today venting frustration at some of the nation's governors. In a conference call, the president was at the White House. The president calling governors, quote, weak, saying they need a more robust police response to the protests going on now across the country. See, that's Caitlin Collins is at the White House for us. Caitlin, he says the governors should dominate. He calls them weak. What more do we know about this call?
Yeah, and he said that Minnesota turned into the laughingstock of the world for how officers there handled those several nights of protest and riots that we saw breaking out, John. This is a really remarkable call, and CNN has obtained the audio. It's a call the president just had with governors, with law enforcement officials, with national security officials, and he was on this call, and he chose to start it by lashing out at these governors, telling them that most of them have been weak and that they need to start cracking down on the protesters who are turning violent in the streets of their cities. He says it is making the United States the laughingstock of the world. Listen to this really remarkable audio that CNN has obtained.
What happened in the state of Minnesota, they were the laughingstock all over the world. They took over the police department. The police were running down the street, sirens blazing, the rest of them running. It was on camera. And then they wiped out. He probably after built a new one, but I've never seen anything like it. And the whole world was laughing. 2 days later, I spoke to the governor. The governor is busy with the and all of a sudden, and I said, you don't use the National Guard to make numbers. And you didn't work. And they did. And I'll tell you that, I don't know what it was. It was governor. It was the third night. One night. Those guys walked through that stuff like it was thunder. They walked right through. And you haven't had any problems. I mean, they know. They're not going to go there. Now they're going to some other place. But once you called out and you dominated, you took the worst place and you made it. They didn't even go there last night because there was no election. So you dominated. You dominated. Now what happens in New York? I have to tell you, I live in Manhattan. What's going on in Manhattan? I have no idea. New York's like this. They're going to be allowed. They can't do their jobs. I don't know what's happening in Manhattan, but it's terrible. Because New York, because it's Manhattan, it gets a lot of press. So they really spend a lot of time on it. But New York is going to have to tough it up. And we'll send you National Guard if you want. We're not the largest police force in the country, 4,000 people, I understand. But what's going on in New York is terrible. It's terrible. Of all the places. What went on last night in Los Angeles with the stores and the suburbs is terrible. No domination, you have to dominate. You have to dominate. That's what they do.
So what do you guys think he's talking about right there when he's saying we have to dominate? We have to dominate who? That whole segment of what he's talking about dominating, we're weak. That to me, that's crazy to me, man. Now, I want you to take a deeper listen to this.
And he says there at the job.
If you want income, then collecting dividends is one of the safest ways to go. Only trouble is, most stocks only pay dividends 4 times a year. Well, my research team has uncovered 12 different investments that pay monthly.
Sorry about that.
There's going to be a lot of issues coming out of what's happened in the last week, but one of them is going to be that chains of transmission will have become lit from these gatherings. And in Minnesota, one of the hard-hit states by the protests, where you've seen large mass gatherings, that state has been seeing an uptick in cases to begin with. Even before these protests started, we saw rising hospitalizations in that state. So this country isn't through this epidemic. This is continuing to expand, but at a much slower rate. But it's still expanding, and we still have pockets of spread in communities that aren't under good control.
If you were out protesting last night, you probably need to go get a COVID test this week, because there's still a pandemic in America that's killing Black and brown people at higher numbers.
The mayor of Atlanta, and before that, former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb, on the potentially deadly consequences of large protests during the coronavirus pandemic. Joining us now, Morning Joe Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Dave Campbell. Dr. Dave, I'm sure we weren't the only ones thinking this, watching this all unfold, and these people, very close to each other, some of them obviously scuffling and having physical interactions. How possible is it that there will be a few, if not more, coronavirus cases out of these protests that turned into riots?
Yeah, you're right. Everybody across the country was watching this unfold with the same question in their mind, and all the experts so far that I've interacted with do believe that we will see a spike, and it will be in areas across the country, not just Minneapolis, but we'll see areas that are already showing hotspots, like in the South and the West, that will show some increase in the numbers of cases over the next few weeks, maybe by July 4th, and thereafter we'll start seeing increasing deaths. It's important to remember that there is a difference between being inside and outside, and there's a great difference between having a face covering on or not having a face covering on. So the little bit of good news, Mika, would be that the protests are outside. But I wouldn't take that example too far, because many, many closely quartered individuals are going to spread aerosols and droplets. And we already know that talking spreads this droplet by about 6 feet, coughing by about 12 feet, sneezing by about 18 feet. And I don't know anybody that's looked at screaming and chanting how far that will send the viral particles, whether they're aerosolized or by droplet.
Yeah, Eddie Glaude, how concerned were you during these protests, watching these protests over the past several days, by the fact that it is unfortunately as Black and brown Americans who have felt the disproportionate impact of COVID-19, and probably a majority of the protesters that we have seen, Americans who have felt it.
Okay, so you're hearing these guys' point, but here's what I'm talking about. Always burning up different places and terrorizing with other people that's brought in gives the juries, when they go out to send these information to the jury. Okay, say for instance, it's the community. It's the community that will be the one who is going to be, say for instance, in where they're from, where the whole initial killing started from. Now, them burning down the community there, or anything around there, the people that they're sending out the summons to appear for the jury will be the individuals of the community that this will happen to. So therefore, they're going to already have a distinct taste on their mouth and want to set the cop free and give them as less as possible. I agree with that. Even the judges, because that's their area. They're trying to, people, there's some Black community people, everybody in there, Black people is taking lives. So the whole thing about being violent is not the way, because now it's looking like we are uncontrollable, like monsters out there trying to uncontrollable. That's what we don't want to happen. we want to be able to maintain ourselves and keep ourselves from losing traction. Now, I'm just one person, and I'm going to stay on it until I build traction. I'm going to stay on this until this thing's done, until I see this man get as much time where I'm pleased with, and all of them get tired. So you got a new friend in this now. Now listen, please subscribe, like. No, I'm not on the show trying to be like everybody else, and no, I don't have a bunch of money to have mine going like this. But believe me, when we click on, it's going to be talking about real things that's going on in life, and it's going to be spoken from an individual who's been through enough to be able to give you a good reading on what's really going on out there in this world. Now, first and for all, let's think about what the children has gone through. The children have gone through, everything that this whole time they've been their phones and the internet, all that, everything was built up for this moment because it helped them get through these tough times at this point in time because they deserve it that much. Because they've been going through a lot and having this virus and all this fighting and all this turmoil in this world, man, it's hard for them to see it being positive. Again, this is your friend, and I'm just doing a test run. I don't want to really have this broadcast or anything like that, but I was just trying to add in some different little stuff, trying to put in something different. If you want to donate and help me out so I can get some better equipment, please at Marcus Lee Remo at MARCUS -Lee -120. Yeah. If you want to help me out so I get some better stuff to get on this and have it set up more studio or whatever, please do. Anything helps. But I'm going to give you real clippings, and we're going to go deep into the protest. I'm going to be protesting myself, and it's going to be a little bit more different than what you've seen on the news. They're all scared, afraid, don't belong. I want to know what I want to do in a protest. I want to see who is there to help or who's there not to be there. That's what we're going to be watching for. People who just don't seem to belong. And see how much your commitment is to it. Not bully them, not come after them or anything like that, but just because they're seeing a lot of bad incidents happen because of that. So this next one coming up a couple days tomorrow, we're going to go and we're going to be seeing who with the cameras, the camera on me, where they can't see who is actually out there that's good and who's bad. I have a little bit of other cameras taking some other pictures too. But thank you for, actually this one is showing. This is just a little test one right now. Lights ain't bright enough. This ain't showing well. And I don't think I want to see how my voice is sounding. But I'm just talking to you right here, equalize, blah, blah, blah. Just a test run. So, can I talk loud from this distance and be okay with this normal voice? Is this all right? Here, can you see it better that way? Now if I play, am I going to get
disproportionate impact of COVID-19, and probably a majority of the protesters that we have seen have been Black Americans.
Yeah, my own son participated in a protest yesterday in Trenton, New Jersey, and we had to have a hard conversation, difficult conversation about social distancing and the threat of COVID-19. But just like the economy trying to, folks forcing the economy open, forcing people to make a choice between being able to provide for their livelihood and to death. You have folks making the choice that they have to protest brutality police brutality and risking their own lives again. At the end of the day, Joe, I look at it like this. In 1968, after the uprisings, America made a choice to double down on this ugliness and turned its back on the possibilities that the Black freedom opened up. 2020, we have to make a choice. We're on a knife's edge. Will we double down on the ugliness, or will we finally transform and become a truly multiracial, just America? That's our choice right now.
So, Dr. Dave, given these protests are in all 50 states, often multiple cities in each state, what are we looking at? What is the data telling you about a second wave? And will these events perhaps step that up?
We should look to July 4th. We know that on Memorial Day, a lot of states opened up. In fact, all 50 states now have some degree of opening up, and all 50 states also have had coronavirus cases, COVID-19. So if we look at the calendar and realize that a few weeks, once you're inoculated, to be infected and get sick, and then a few more weeks for those that are going to go in the hospital, and then a few more weeks for those that will unfortunately die, we're looking at July when we could start seeing some.
All right, Dr. Dave Campbell, thank you so much. And thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.
All you have to do to lose weight and have the perfect body is to eat less. How many times have you heard that tired old lie?
I need to be able to have that to show, so
go on an extremely low calorie diet. Simple.
I gotta use that.
Wrong.
This might work.
Losing weight does not mean always.
But I guess we can just listen to the voice and not worry
losing
about it.
weight does not mean salads 3 times a day. And before you slam me with the whole, that's easy for you to say. This isn't about me. This is about the thousands of people worldwide that I've been fortunate enough to be able to help with their weight loss goals, allowing you to eat real food all day long, yet still lose weight faster than you ever have. Now, you can think that I'm being a little too harsh, but please know that I need. Tech website Gizmodo revealed that President Trump posts altered photos to Facebook and Instagram that make him look thinner. Well, it's nice to know that even during the shutdown, we've still got a functioning Department of Homeland Insecurity. Okay, so I like that. It's a nice family. Check it out, okay? Here's my photos. It's subtle, so keep your eyes on everything, okay? Here's the original picture. Here's the Photoshop. Real, fake. Trump old and weak. Trump young and strong. Hamburger, salad. And it's not just his weight Trump is sensitive about. Here's the president proudly identifying a fire truck. Jim, zoom in on the finger, okay? Here's real, here's Photoshop. They lengthened his finger. And you know what they say about a man with long Photoshop fingers? Sad little ding dong. Also, also, Photoshop has its limits. We see him in real life. What's he going to do? Get the State of the Union in Hulk hands? But if they're trying to make Trump more appealing, I say they just go farther. Put up that image of Trump one more time on Air Force One. Okay, let's make him even skinnier. Let's get rid of the red tie. Is there anything else we can do about that face? Much better. There you go. That's a good look. We got a great show for you guys. Barry Moore is here. We're going to return. Meanwhile.
Come on, man. Something's got to be right. It's got to be right.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Biden. I'd like to ask you to join my campaign. As I've said time and again, we're in a battle for the soul of this nation. That means not only defeating Donald Trump, but also taking big, bold actions to help Americans who are struggling. And It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth fighting for is ever easy. So join me, and together we'll defeat Donald Trump and transform America.
We're gonna need to do something with the motherfucker.